Hello everyone. Today we are going to learn how to add and subtract fractions. One thing that you must remember when you add or subtract fractions, the denominators must be the same before you add or subtract them. And if they're not, then you must change them. So here are the steps of how to add or subtract fractions. And then we are going to apply these steps one by one with these fractions here. So you have 3/8, take away 7/12. As you see, both denominators are different. How are going to change the denominators to the same denominators? I mean, there are different ways to do this one. We always say, find the lowest common multiple for 8 and 12, and that is going to be the lowest common denominator at the same time. But how do we find the lowest common multiple? One way would be to list the multiples of 8 on one side and list the multiples of 12 on the other side and see which multiple appears on both lists. So the first one that appears is the lowest common multiple. But I advise my students to follow a slightly different strategy, which obviously is quite similar, obviously, to finding the multiples, working with multiples again. So we are going to just work with multiples of 12. And then ask yourself a question, is 12 a multiple of 8? No, it's not. So that can't be a common multiple. The next one up is going to be 24. So 12 times, next one up, 12 times 2 is 24. So is 24 a multiple of 8? Yes, it is. So 24 is going to be a lowest common multiple for both of them, for both fractions. So let's put number 24 under both fractions. And now we need to remember now to make 8 to 24, we have to multiply by 3. But so that we keep the value of the fraction at the 8 the same, we have to multiply the 3 by 3 as well. Right? So just do a little times 3 times 3, a small one. And then 12 to become 24, we multiply by 2. Obviously, we have to multiply the numerator 7 by 2 as well. If you have a different color pen to do these tiny multiplications, it's best to use a different color pen, just in case you don't mix them with the numbers here. So 3 times 3 is 9, and 7 times 2 is 14. There you go. So we have 9/24, take away 14 over 24, and the answer is going to be minus 5 over 24. So it's a negative fraction, minus 5 over 24, and there's no common factor, so we won't continue. So this is how we take away fractions, and if this was an addition, the strategy would have been exactly the same. Here we have 3 different fractions, 3 different denominators. We are going to look at the largest denominator again. So largest denominator is 7. And you think, is 7 a multiple of 3 and a 2? No, it's not. Next one up is going to be 14. So next multiple is, I'm going to circle this one. Is 14 a multiple of 3 and a 2? It is a multiple of 2, but it's not a multiple of 3. So it is definitely not going to be a multiple. So I'm going to cross this one out. And the next one up is going to be 7 times 3, 21. Again, is a multiple of 3, but it's not a multiple of 2. Cross it out. 7 times 4 is 28. It's not, so cross it out. 35 is not, 7 times 5 is not, 7 times 6 is 42, and then 42 actually is a multiple of 3, a multiple of 7, and a multiple of 2. So 42 is going to be a multiple of 3 of them. So it's the lowest common multiple or the lowest common denominator. So put the 42, just follow this order of working out. 42, 42, 42. And then 3 to become 42, you multiply here by 14. Okay, so you can find this 14 by dividing 42 by 3. If you have a calculator, use a calculator or along with the division. And then 42, 2 to become, so we need to multiply 2 by 14 as well. So 2 times 14 times 14. And then 7 to 42, we multiply by 6. which means we multiply the 2 by 6 as well, so 2 times 6. 2 to 42, we multiply by 21, and that means we have to multiply 1 by 21, so 1 times 21 here. Right. Now, 2 times 24 is 28. 2 times 6 is 12. 1 times 21 is 21. And there you go. Now we are going to add the numerators together. 28 plus 12 is 40. 40 plus 21 is 61. 61 over 42. Okay, now again, this is an improper fraction. So we need to find now that we need to change this one to a mixed number. So there is 1 whole 42 into 61. And what is the remainder of 42 to 61? Now 42 to the nearest multiple of 10 to 50 is 8. 8 to 50 plus another 10 to 60, 18 plus 1, 19. So 19 over 42. And there is no common factor for 19 and 42, so this is the final answer. We have 9/10 plus 7/8 plus 3/4. So 3 different fractions, 3 different denominators. Again, we are going to look at the largest denominator, which is 10, and I'm going to circle here. And then ask yourself a question. Is 10 a multiple of 8 and a multiple of 4? No, it's not. So it's not. So next one up is going to be 20. Is 20 a multiple of both of them? No. Is 30 a multiple of 10, 8, and a 4? No, it's not. So 40 is a multiple of 8, but it is a multiple of 8, and it is a multiple of 4. There you go. So you found 40 is the lowest common multiple. So next step would be to write 40 underneath. So that is our new denominator. And then plus 40 here. Okay. And then we find out how many tens make 40. 4 tens. 40. That means you need to multiply the 9 by 4 as well. How many 8 make 40? 5 8. That means we need to multiply the same 7 by 5. How many 4 make 40? 10. Which means we need to multiply the 3 by 10. And again, we have to multiply up and down by the same number to keep the value of the fraction the same. And now let's write the new numerators. 9 times 4 is 36. 7 times 5 is 35. 3 times 10 is 30. Equal. Let's add the numerators together because all the denominators are the same. So 36 plus 35 is 71. 71 plus 30 is 101. 101 over 40. Again, this is an improper fraction. We must change it to a mixed number. So how many whole 40s? It's 2. 2 40s make 80. 80 to 101, it's going to be 21 over 14. 21 and 40, they have no common factors, so this will be the final answer. Now, this is your independent work. You have a takeaway here, a subtraction, and an addition here. You have 3 different fractions here to add, and 3 different fractions with an addition and a takeaway. Now remember, mixed numbers, always change them to improper fractions, always. That would be, I would strongly advise you to do that. And when you have 3 fractions to add or take away, again, look at the largest denominator and think, is that a multiple of the 2 other smallest one? Is 7 a multiple of 23? If not, then go up. 7 times 2 is 14. Is 44, 14 a multiple of 23? And so on. Again, do the same thing for the largest one, which is a 10 here. Do the same thing for the largest one, which here is an 8. And obviously do the same thing for the largest one. So always work with the largest denominator and work out which multiple of the largest one would be a multiple of the smallest denominators. So this is the end of the lesson. Well done for watching. Bye-bye.